So I was originally casting these socks on for a different pair of socks and then changed my mind because I got some new yarn in the mail. Hello everyone and welcome back to the DoSo Knits YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Kristen and I'm a knitter and military spouse currently living in Germany with my family. DoSo Knits is my YouTube channel where I share with you guys what I've been knitting on, what's inspiring me, yarn I acquire, all that kind of good fiber yarny stuff. So today's video is episode 21 of the DoSo Knits podcast, and in these is where I like to talk about my current whips, my finished objects, and just share with you guys what I've been working on and what's been inspiring me. So I'm coming at you guys a little earlier than normal. Normally I record every 2 weeks, but we are planning to go out of town this weekend, so I wanted to get this recorded and up. That way it can go up at the normal time for you guys, but a little earlier for me, so I'm recording midweek instead of on the weekend. And then I actually looked back to make sure that I was going to be saying the right podcast number, because we're on episode 21, and I realized I'm actually recording a week early. So you guys are in luck. You're getting a podcast a little earlier than normal because I normally do a podcast bi-weekly, every fortnight. And yeah, so we get one a little early because I got all my stuff, got it all set up. I checked to make sure that I was going to be saying the right number and realized that my last video only went up about a week ago instead of 2 weeks. So yay for an early podcast. But I'm very excited. I have a good amount to show you guys. Summer sock camp has started. Summer sock camp is something that Kay from the Crazy Sock Lady is putting on. I will link to her channel, but basically you go find her in her Ravelry groups or go look at that YouTube video all about summer sock camp. And basically the whole premise is we're gonna knit some socks this summer. So I have started a good amount of socks. I have so many socks to show you guys and so many socks that I want to make. So I'm pretty excited. I am the 9-inch camp counselor, which just means I'm hanging out in the threads a lot and joining some of the VIP camper Zooms if you're lucky enough to get one of those slots. So it's just been a lot of fun, a lot of socks, and it's been very, very inspiring, and I've been loving it. So I hope you guys are ready. I have a good amount to show you, and let's go ahead and get started. I do have one finished object to show you guys. If you do follow me on Instagram, I am DoSo Knits over there as well as here and on Ravelry. But I did post this a little earlier over there than I could show here because I was doing a secret test knit. So I was doing a secret test knit for Hoga Canyon, and this was for her mountain switchback cowl. I always want to say throwback, but it is the mountain switchback cowl, and I will show you what mine looks like. So this is my cowl, and so what's really fun about this pattern, I'll throw it on so you guys can kind of see. It's just a nice lightweight cowl. But what's really exciting and cool about this pattern is there's actually 4 different sizes, and this pattern is written to use mini skeins or scraps. So there are sizes for either 5 or 15 fingering weight or DK minis. So you can do a 5 minis in fingering, 15 minis in fingering, 5 minis in DK, or 15 minis in DK. The 15 one is a more of a caldana shape, whereas the 5 minis are this cowl. I do think if I did it again, I would do less stitches around. I think that's just, again, my gauge probably is a bit looser than normal. And I would maybe make it a bit taller, like use some more minis to bring it up a bit. Because I like the cowl shape and really love the transition that these yarns do. So it looks like color work, but it's not. So the way you knit this pattern is everything, you only ever use one color at a time. It's mosaic. So certain rounds you'll be using your color 1, and certain rounds you'll be using the second color, and by slipping stitches and doing things like that, you get a nice color transition, and mine's kind of a nice faded kind of look, but a lot of people did a really high contrast ones and they looked amazing. So if you're interested in this pattern, make sure to check it out. Hoga Canyon has written this, and I was so happy to do it even as a secret test knit, so I couldn't show you guys while I was working on it. So it was one of the reasons why some of my podcasts didn't look like I was working on a whole bunch. It's because I did have to put a good amount of time in this. But also, this knits up so quickly. It is very addictive. You like finish your one color and you just want to keep going, and then by the time you're done, you're like, oh, I'm already on the next color. So it's really fun, really pretty. Definitely something I want to knit again because it is really fast and really perfect for those mini skeins, and it just looks so beautiful. I love this. So yes, the Mountain Switchback Cowl. That is the only finished object I have to show you guys this week, but I do have quite a few works in progress to show you. I have started a lot of socks, like I mentioned kind of at the beginning, and I'm excited to kind of show you guys what I've been working on with these. The first socks that I have been putting a lot of time into are living in this bag. This is one of the summer sock camp bags, and this was from So Crazy Crafter, and so it is an embroidered bag. And then I've been putting all my little pins that I have on the back. So I have a lot of fun pins, and it's just been perfect for these socks that I've been taking. They've been my vanilla socks, and it fits perfectly in my backpack. So if you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen these as well. I am knitting these for my Desert Vista Dyeworks May or June socks. So every month you can do a sock challenge with Desert Vista Dyeworks. All you have to do is cast on and finish a pair of socks from her yarn, and you get entered in for coupon codes and prizes throughout the year. You can join anytime. So I'm knitting these out of the Summer Sock Camp Colorway 2020, and I have finished the first sock. So I decided to do a short leg, so they're gonna be kind of ankle socks. So I did about 15 to 20 rounds of the cuff. What I did was, when this color changed, then I just started the next color, and that was when I got to the brown, I just started knitting stockinette from that point on. I don't normally put a beginning of round marker when I'm doing the cuff or even the leg on self-striping socks, because I always like to stop where the color change is and then start my heel. And since everything's just kind of in a tube anyway, I just kind of knit round and round without any regards to where beginning of the round is, because I'll just start it when that color change happens, like I did here for the pink, and then I start the heel, and then that's when I'll start my beginning of round, because you want your heel and toe to line up. You want them to kind of start and finish on the same socks, but for the leg it doesn't necessarily matter. Sherlock has gotten up from the porch and has walked to the end of the sidewalk and is looking for something, but I'm unsure what. Sherlock, what are you doing? I think he might be looking for Shane, but Shane is inside. Sherlock! Can you sit, buddy? Thanks. So this is the first sock that I've done so far. I did a German short row heel again with the modified heel, mini heel flap adjustment here, which is what this is, and then my heel. And I have started the second one. So I am this far. I have the purple stripe and then the pink stripe, and then I will be starting my heel. This is my newest little stitch marker. I placed an order from Simply Serving. She had these adorable little gnome in a little raincoat, and I had to have it. So he is on my summer socks. I thought he was adorable. So yes, as you can see here, this is kind of what I was talking about. I do not have a beginning of round of marker right now. And then just whenever I get to the color change of the yellow, as soon as I knit that first yellow stitch, that will be my first stitch of my heel flap. And that is how I'm going to do it. So actually on this one, I knit across the front and then started the heel flap. So I'll probably do the same thing. So those are those. These have just been coming with me in my backpack since they are my current vanilla socks. I'm trying to only do one pair of vanilla socks, I think, at a time right now, because then that way I can get them done. And the reason I opted for some shorty socks on these is because I want to finish them and wear them. That is the reasoning, is I want to wear them. So, and it's getting warm. So short socks it is. So those are my first socks that I've started. Okay, the next socks I'm working on, I've not done too much on them. It is living in my Mountain State Stitches bag, my little mountain bag. I love this bag. As soon as I saw the mountains, I had to grab one of these. I thought they were so cute. So I was originally casting these socks on for a different pair of socks and then changed my mind because I got some new yarn in the mail. But I've left them on the needles. So these are going to be some Sprinkler Days socks by Hookah Canyon. I test knit these last summer and have been wanting another pair of shorties, and I had picked out these yarns with the contrast, and I thought these would go with it perfectly. I am modifying the pattern just slightly, just mostly colors. So I will show you where I am at and what yarn I'm using. So this is the mini I am using. This is Stress Knit's favorite in the colorway Ice King, I believe. Ice King. So I made these little tags when I was opening my advent so that I could remember, and I put all the details on the back as well. So that is the main color. And then the contrast color is going to be this blue. And this is Plump Merino by a Homespun House in the colorway Half Blood Prince. So this is what they look like together. It's a nice fun bit of contrast, but not too much overall. Okay, so the problem with me recording outside after work is I got hit by the bells again, so I had to pause and wait. So as I was saying, I'm knitting this with Ice King and some Plump Merino from a Homespun House, and I'm planning to make the Sprinkler Days socks. And this is where I'm at so far. So that's where I'm at so far, just a little bit of the cuff done. So this pattern calls for a main color and a contrasting color, as I've kind of shown you. You are supposed to cast on with the main color and then do a stripe of the contrasting, but I'm just going to do the whole cuff in the contrasting color instead. And instead of a 2x2 rib, I'm doing just a 1x1. And mainly the reason for this is I cast these on for a different pair of socks initially, and then since they were already cast on, I was like, well, I'm gonna start these socks instead, but I didn't want to rip anything out. So we're just gonna go with it. I like the 1x1 rib. I really like this color. I don't think I was strapped last time for the contrasting color, so I'm just gonna do the whole cuff and the whole toe in the contrast. And you may be thinking, these are not my circulars, and these are not. So I just got these in the mail yesterday. These are some Xiaogu red lace. I'm doing the 16-inch circulars. So I'm trying the method of 2 16-inch circulars to knit these socks. I think for the pattern sock, the extra needles might be handy. I am using a 2.25 millimeter instead of a 2mm because I think I'm a bit looser when I do 9-inch circulars, because the last time I knit a pair of Magic Loop socks, my US 0 was very tight. So we will go with that and see how it goes. So not too much to show on these, hopefully a little more next time. The next socks I have to show you is another Hygge Canyon pattern, and this is in my Stolen Minutes Summer Sock Camp bag, which I am so grateful to carry. Thank you so much for this bag. I'm so excited to use it. It's been perfect for some socks. It's the perfect size. So in here, I am test knitting some socks for Hygge Canyon. These are going to be the Lightning Ridge socks. And again, she's doing multiple size options for these. So there is a shorty and a full length leg option. Okay, so let me take this out to show you. I am knitting this out of To The Max Yarn Co. in Pride Parade in the fingering sock set. So it's 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. And this is my contrasting mini. And then this is my main color. I saw these on the Grocery Girls podcast and I had to have some of this. I thought it was absolutely gorgeous, and since it is June for Pride Month, I wanted to cast on the Pride Parade socks in my test knit. So this is where I'm at currently. So this is the cuff. Isn't this gorgeous? So I'm doing the shorty option. I'm doing 56 stitches like always because I have a small feet. And I'm doing it on 9-inch circulars mostly, but I have switched to Magic Loop while doing this heel flap. I'm about halfway through the heel flap, so that's fun. This is another one of my little new stitch markers from Simply Serving. There we go. So this is my new stitch marker. It's a little lemon ginger tea bag. And so this is the cuff, and I'm starting the heel flap. And then the whole foot, I think, is in this, except for maybe a stripe. I'm not exactly sure. But I saw this cuff and was like, I have to have these. So that is these. Not a whole lot to show. I'm hoping to get the heel flap finished today, hopefully. And then that way I can get started on the gusset decreases. And I think these are just going to be so much fun for summer and to wear with my Birkenstocks, because I just got some Birkenstocks to wear with my socks, and I'm wearing some today, my Birkenstocks and socks, and I think they're meant to go together. So those are my Lightning Ridge socks, which I'm test knitting, and the pattern should be out, I think, last week of June, early July. I'm not quite sure, but be on the lookout for those. And that's living in this bag. So my camera battery died, so now I'm using my phones. Hopefully it sounds okay, hopefully it looks okay, because if not, we'll just have to skip this part and just skip to the outro and it should be okay. I just wanted to show you the last thing that I'm working on. I have been working on a garment. It is my Petal Party Crop by Samantha Gurin. I am test knitting this as well. So I'm knitting the size 44 for this pattern, which will give me about 1 to 2 inches of positive ease, which is what the pattern calls for, and it is going to be a cropped pattern. So the sweater will come out. It only uses 2 skeins of fingering weight yarn, and it's going to be a nice cute cropped top. I showed it a lot and talked about it on my last episode as well. But this is where I am at now. So the back section, and then you pick up and start knitting the front. I'm almost done with my front repeats, and then I will join under the underarms. This is kind of where it's at so far. I love this lace detail. I think it is super cute, and overall I think the shoulder length and the neckline look really nice. So this will connect under the underarms, and then we'll start the body, which will be all in the round, which I think will go a bit faster. So I'm knitting this out of Porter Wool Co. Their merino nylon 4-ply, and I am using my Chagu interchangeables, and they're US 4 needles, 3.5mm. And this is kind of a close-up of the lace. I will say, now that I've kind of gotten used to the lace and kind of know what I'm looking for, know how many stitches are supposed to be in here, I have not had as many errors on my part about missing yarn overs or stitches. And yeah, so this is where I'm at. I love the interchangeables because I can just take this cord off and then put them on stoppers for the bottom, and then just grab a new cord and new needles and knit for the top. And yeah, I'm hoping to get the round, or in the round, connected under the sleeves soon. And then yeah, I'm excited for this. I have not started striping in my second color yet. I am planning to do that a bit soon. So this is the yarn I'm using. So I'm thinking, I was trying to wait to finish the front section, but this is getting a little small, so I might have to start a bit early. I was thinking about when I get 30 or 20 grams left, I might start alternating them, but we shall see. I think when I measured it last, I was at 40 grams, and I was like, oh wow, that's a lot, even though the ball looked really small. And yeah, so this is kind of where I'm at. I've been trying to do this as my morning knitting the past couple days, and that's been working out really nicely. It's just I have a little more mental clarity in the morning, can focus a bit, and it's just been really nice to work on that and get some progress done. I feel like I'm making a lot of progress quickly by doing that in the mornings. Okay, so those are all the projects that I brought to show you guys today. I do have some other socks and other projects that are lingering a bit, but they just haven't been getting as much of my attention lately. But I did want to show you guys something that came in the mail. So I subscribe to Laine magazine, and this beauty came in the mail, and oh my gosh, there's some gorgeous patterns in this episode in this issue. So I've gone through and I've tabbed a few that are my favorites. One thing I love is just honestly the smell. I love the smell of the print book, and it's just amazing. So this pattern is definitely one that caught my eye. It just looks like an easy textured raglan, but this beautiful section at the bottom that is called the Keseran Pasaran. There's some more pictures here. I think it's so beautiful. And then there was also this one. I think this one plays with texture a lot. And so there's this beautiful color work at the bottom. And I think that is absolutely gorgeous. This orange one looks like it was, or the green one looks like it was knit with like a suri along with the normal yarn, like a non-fuzzy yarn. So I thought that looked really interesting. And then this one I loved so much. It is this cardigan. It's also the one that's on the cover of the magazine. I want to make this. I think this is absolutely something that would fit perfectly in my wardrobe in this gorgeous photography. So I'm planning on bringing this with us this weekend. We're planning to go on a bit of a camping trip. Well, we're getting a log cabin in the woods, so it's kind of camping, kind of not traditional camping. We're getting a log cabin. It's just gonna be nice. We're gonna bring my knitting. Shane's gonna bring some reading. We're gonna bring the bubbers, who's sitting here because he wants dinner, and it's just gonna be a really nice, relaxing weekend without having to be around a bunch of people, because we just wanted to go and do something, but not necessarily go explore a big city or anything like that. So that is the plan there. So I'm going to bring this book and maybe another older issue of Laine that I have yet to flip through, because there's some really interesting looking articles in here. There's some really beautiful recipes as well. And there's an article in here about knitting and how it impacts your mental health, and I feel like that sounds really interesting. So how does knitting improve your cognitive skills? And yeah, I'm really excited to delve into this book. And yeah, I was trying to think if there's anything else really been going on, and there's not a whole lot. Just been working, knitting when I come home, spending some time with you guys in the summer sock camp. I'm loving all the interaction and comments you guys are giving. It's been so much fun to comment and look and see what you guys are thinking on Instagram and all that kind of fun stuff, and what you guys are commenting here. Really, it's so much fun. I love our little community that we are building, and I'm glad you guys tune in and join me. If you're coming back, thank you so much. Thanks for hanging out with me. And this is your first time, thank you for sitting with me for this long. I appreciate it. And with that, I hope you guys are putting a little bit of love into every stitch of your knitting, and I'll see you on the next episode. And I hope you have a great day. Bye! So these are going to be, I feel like I'm really dark. There we go. Come on. Oh yeah. Why does it hate me? Oi! The box!